Find somewhere comfortable, somewhere your body can be heavy for a while. You don't need to follow any of this closely. You don't need to remember a single word. Just let the sound of the voice be company, something warm in the room with you tonight. We're not going anywhere quickly. There's no destination to reach before you fall asleep. If today was hard, you don't need to explain it. Not to me, not to yourself. It was what it was, and it's behind you now, growing more distant with every slow breath. Whatever you're carrying into this bed tonight, the unfinished things, the conversations that replayed themselves, the low hum of worry that followed you from room to room, you can set it down here. Just for a while. Tonight we're going to spend some time with something that most of us feel every single day and almost never stop to understand. Stress. That familiar tightness, that restless, unquiet feeling. We're going to look at it gently, not to fix it or fight it, but simply to understand it. Because there is something quietly freeing about understanding what's happening inside you. Something that makes the whole thing feel a little less like an enemy and a little more like a very old, very tired part of you that was only ever trying to help. So settle in. Let your shoulders drop a little. Let the pillow take the weight of your head. And let the words come and go like something drifting past on water. The word stress, the one we use so casually now. I'm so stressed. This week has been so stressful. Didn't always belong to the human body. It came from physics, from the study of force and material. Stress, in its original meaning, described what happened when you applied pressure to a physical object, the force that bends a metal rod, the strain on a bridge, the invisible load that, if it exceeds a certain threshold, causes something to give way. It's a strange word to have borrowed. And yet, when you lie here tonight with that particular heaviness in your chest, that sense of being pressed upon from too many directions at once, maybe it doesn't seem so strange after all. Maybe the physicists named it right without knowing it. The idea that the human body had its own version of this, its own response to being strained and pressed, began to take shape in the early 20th century. A physiologist named Walter Cannon was the first to describe it clearly. Back in 1915, he was watching animals under threat, studying what happened inside them when danger arrived, and he noticed something remarkable. The body didn't wait for instructions. It didn't deliberate or weigh its options. It simply responded, instantly, automatically. A cascade of changes already in motion before the thinking mind had even registered what was happening. He called it the fight or flight response. And even if you've heard that phrase 100 times, the reality of it, the sheer elegance and urgency of it, is worth sitting with for a moment. When something threatens you, your body begins to transform itself almost instantaneously into the most capable version of itself it can manage. Heart rate rises. Blood moves toward the large muscles. The pupils widen to take in more of the world. The airways open. Digestion slows because digestion is a luxury when there might be a predator nearby. Every available resource is redirected toward one single purpose: survival. It is, in its own way, extraordinary. A gift that evolution spent millions of years refining. A system so fast and so thorough that it can have you halfway across a room before your conscious mind has formed the thought to move. Cannon was watching animals, but he was describing something inside you too, something ancient, something that has been there since long before you were born. A few decades after Cannon, a young medical student in Prague named Hans Selye noticed something that bothered him. It bothered him in the way that only the best observations bother scientists, not because it was wrong, but because it didn't fit the tidy picture he'd been given. He was watching patients, different patients with different illnesses, different diagnoses, different stories. And yet, they all looked, in a certain way, the same. They all had a shared quality of suffering that went beyond their specific conditions. A weight loss here, a low mood there, a loss of interest in the things they used to love, a kind of general unwellness that didn't belong to any single disease. Selye called it, with a phrase that feels almost poetic in its plainness, the syndrome of just being sick. He spent the next several decades trying to understand what that meant, and what he eventually described changed the way medicine thought about the body. He called it the general adaptation syndrome, and it had 3 stages, 3 chapters in the story of a body under sustained pressure. The first stage he called the alarm stage. This is Cannon's fight or flight, the body's first response to a threat. Everything mobilizes. Everything sharpens. The system floods with hormones and energy and readiness. The second stage is resistance. If the threat doesn't go away, if the stressor persists day after day, the body does something remarkable. It adapts. It finds a way to maintain that state of heightened readiness without burning everything at once. It holds itself at a kind of controlled tension, like a muscle that has been clenched so long it no longer remembers what it felt like to be loose. And the third stage is exhaustion. If the pressure never lifts, the body's resources eventually run low. The system, which was never designed for permanent activation, begins to falter. This is where illness finds its way in. This is where the body, which has been holding on so valiantly for so long, finally begins to show the cost. You might recognize something of yourself in that arc. The initial jolt of a difficult period, a new pressure at work, a relationship in trouble, a loss, a change you didn't ask for. Then the strange ability to function, to keep going, to manage, even while something inside you is working very hard to hold it all together. And then, sometimes, the exhaustion that arrives later, when the storm seems to have passed, but the body is only just beginning to feel what it has been through. Selye also gave us something else, something that tends to surprise people when they first hear it. He said that not all stress is harmful. He drew a distinction between what he called distress, the kind that weighs you down and wears you out, and eustress, a word built from the Greek prefix for good. Eustress is the stress of a challenge you're excited by. The nervous energy before something that matters to you. The aliveness of a deadline that sharpens your focus. It is the same physiological machinery, but pointed in a direction that serves you. That distinction matters. It means stress is not simply an enemy to be defeated. It is a system, a tool, one that can be used well or used badly, depending on circumstances that are sometimes within your control and sometimes far beyond it. For now, though, you don't need to do anything with that. Just let it rest there quietly. The body is wiser than we often give it credit for. Let's follow what actually happens in your body when stress arrives. Not in a clinical way, just as a kind of quiet tour, a gentle look at the machinery that's been running inside you your whole life without you ever having to ask it to. It begins in the brain, specifically in a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala. The amygdala is old, evolutionarily ancient. It doesn't speak in language or reason or nuance. It speaks in threat and no threat, safe and not safe, and it is extraordinarily fast. When the amygdala perceives something that might be dangerous, And it's important to note that it can't always tell the difference between a physical threat and an emotional one, between a predator and an unanswered email. It sends a signal to another region of the brain called the hypothalamus. The hypothalamus is sometimes called the body's command center, and in this moment it earns that name. From the hypothalamus, two systems are activated almost simultaneously. The first is the autonomic nervous system, specifically the sympathetic branch, which sends signals racing through the body to prepare it for action. This is what causes the heart to beat faster, the palms to become damp, the stomach to clench, the breath to become shallower and higher in the chest. The second system takes a little longer, measured in seconds rather than fractions of a second, but its effects last much further into the future. This is the HPA axis, the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, and the adrenal glands working together in a chain. The hypothalamus releases a hormone that signals the pituitary, which signals the adrenal glands, which sit quietly atop the kidneys and respond by releasing cortisol. Cortisol. You've probably heard of it. It's often called the stress hormone, which is accurate but a little unfair because cortisol does many things and most of them are useful. It regulates your metabolism. It helps manage inflammation. It influences your sleep-wake cycle, rising naturally in the morning to help you wake, falling through the day to allow you to rest. In the context of stress, cortisol's job is to sustain the response, to keep energy available, to maintain alertness, to make sure the body stays prepared for as long as the threat seems to be present. In the short term, all of this is not only manageable, but genuinely helpful. Your heart beats faster to deliver more oxygen to your muscles. Your focus narrows to the problem in front of you. Your body becomes, briefly, a more capable instrument. The difficulty comes when the signal never turns off. Because the stresses of modern life are not, by and large, predators or physical dangers that can be outrun. They are the slow accumulation of demands. The financial worry that sits in the background of every day. The relationship that asks more than you have to give. The relentless pace of a world that seems to expect you to be available and productive and emotionally regulated at all hours, without pause. These stresses don't resolve in a sprint. They don't end with a burst of physical effort that uses up the hormones the body has released. They persist. And so the body persists alongside them, held in a state of readiness that was never meant to be permanent. Over time, the effects of that sustained activation begin to show. Blood pressure that stays elevated rather than returning to its resting level. An immune system that becomes less efficient because cortisol, in high concentrations maintained over long periods, suppresses the very defenses it was meant to protect. A digestive system that never fully relaxes because the body is always diverting resources away from the things it considers non-essential in a crisis. That familiar sensitivity in the stomach. That tight knotted feeling that isn't quite nausea, but isn't quite naught. And then there is the brain itself. Chronic stress appears to affect the hippocampus, the region of the brain most closely associated with memory and learning. There is evidence, gathered over many years of careful research, that prolonged exposure to high cortisol levels can actually reduce the volume of this region. The part of you that remembers, that learns, that places events in their proper context in time, can be quietly diminished by stress sustained over months and years. It's a sobering thing to know. And if you've been under pressure for a long time, if you've noticed that your memory feels less reliable, that you're more forgetful than you used to be, more scattered, less able to hold things in mind, it's worth knowing that this is not a personal failing. It is a physiological consequence of carrying too much for too long. You are not broken. You are tired. There is a difference, and it matters. Of all the places stress makes itself known, perhaps none is more intimate or more quietly cruel than what it does to sleep. If you found yourself lying awake at night with your mind running through the events of the day, or the fears about tomorrow, or the conversation you had 3 weeks ago that you still haven't quite resolved, you already know this, you felt it. The body is exhausted, the eyes are heavy, and yet something inside you will not go quiet. That something has a name and a mechanism, and understanding it might make it feel a little less like a personal failing. When cortisol is elevated, it works against the natural rhythm of your sleep-wake cycle. Under ordinary circumstances, cortisol follows a gentle arc through the day, high in the morning where it helps you wake and engage with the world, slowly declining through the afternoon and evening, reaching its lowest point in the deep hours of the night to allow for rest. It is one of many rhythms the body maintains, a slow tide that rises and falls in time with the light. But chronic stress disrupts that rhythm. Cortisol levels that should be falling by evening remain elevated instead. The body is still in a version of readiness, still scanning, still alert. The physiological state of rest, the parasympathetic mode that allows the heart to slow and the muscles to soften and the mind to begin its descent into sleep, is harder to reach when the sympathetic system is still insisting there is something to be done. A study published in Psychosomatic Medicine in 2020, led by a research team tracking the relationship between psychological state and sleep onset, found that high levels of stress and anxiety were directly linked to how long it took people to fall asleep. Not just a little longer, significantly longer. The mind, primed by stress to remain watchful, resists the surrender that sleep requires. And even when sleep eventually comes, stress shapes its quality in ways you might not consciously notice, but will certainly feel the next morning. Healthy sleep moves through a series of stages, cycling through them roughly every 90 minutes across the night. Each stage has its own character, its own function, its own particular kind of restoration. Deep sleep, the stage dominated by the slowest brain waves, the ones researchers call delta waves, is when the body does its most profound physical repair work. It is when growth hormone is released, when the immune system is strengthened, when the brain consolidates the day's learning and clears away the metabolic byproducts that accumulate during waking hours. Stress preferentially suppresses this stage. It is as though the body, still on alert, refuses to go quite that deep. Still listening, still ready to respond. And so the deepest rest, the most restorative sleep, becomes harder to reach and harder to sustain. REM sleep, the stage associated with dreaming and with the processing of emotional experience, is also affected. Anxiety and rumination, those twin companions of stress, maintain a kind of cognitive hum that interferes with the brain's ability to enter and remain in this stage. The emotional processing that REM sleep is supposed to provide, the quiet reorganization of difficult feelings into something more manageable, gets interrupted. And so you wake with the feelings still unprocessed, still raw, still present. The result is that familiar feeling of having slept without really resting, of spending 8 hours in bed and waking more tired than when you lay down. And then, in a twist that feels almost unjust, the sleep deprivation itself makes the stress worse. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine in 2022 found that a lack of restorative sleep can amplify the body's stress response by as much as 37% the following day, 37% more reactive, more sensitive, more easily overwhelmed, simply because the night didn't give you what you needed. The stress prevents the sleep that would ease the stress. A loop, quiet and persistent, that can run for weeks or months without anyone noticing quite how it started. If you're in that loop right now, I want you to know that you're not alone in it. Millions of people are lying in beds tonight in exactly this position, exhausted and awake, wondering why their body won't simply let them rest. It is not stubbornness. It is not weakness. It is a system doing what it was designed to do, in circumstances it was never designed for. There is one more thing worth knowing tonight, and it's perhaps the most quietly remarkable thing that research into stress has uncovered in recent years. A large study, one that tracked tens of thousands of adults across 8 years, looked at the relationship between stress, belief, and health outcomes. The researchers measured 2 things: how much stress the participants experienced, and whether they believed that stress was harmful to them. And then they followed what happened. The results were striking. People who experienced a great deal of stress but did not believe it was harmful to them had some of the lowest risk of dying in the entire study. Lower, even, than people who experienced relatively little stress. Meanwhile, those who experienced high stress and believed it was harmful fared significantly worse. The researchers estimated that over those 8 years, something in the region of 182,000 premature deaths may have been attributable not to stress itself, but to the belief that stress was bad for you. That number is large enough to be almost difficult to absorb. And I'm not sharing it to add to your worry or to suggest that the solution to stress is simply to think differently about it, as though it were that easy. It isn't always that easy. Chronic stress is real, and its effects on the body are real, and they deserve to be taken seriously. But there is something in this finding that feels worth carrying gently. The body is not entirely indifferent to the story you tell about what it's experiencing, the meaning you make of a difficult period, the way you frame it to yourself, whether as something that is breaking you or something that is in some way passing through you, is not a trivial thing. It is woven into the physiology in ways that science is only beginning to understand. Hans Selye noticed this too, in his own way, when he distinguished between distress and eustress. The same hormones, the same cascades, but a different relationship with the experience, a different quality of attention brought to it. You might not be able to choose your circumstances tonight. The things that are pressing on you are real, and they are yours, and no amount of reframing will make them disappear. But the way you hold them, with a little distance, a little compassion for the body that is carrying them, a little understanding that this is a system doing its ancient best in a world it wasn't built for. That, perhaps, is something you have a little more say in. Most people, even those who have been through very difficult things, maintain their health through those periods. Resilience is not the absence of stress. It is something that lives alongside it, something quieter, more patient, more willing to wait. The body knows how to come back to itself given the chance. The nervous system knows how to shift from its alert, contracted state into something softer, given the right conditions. The deep sleep that stress has been keeping from you is still there, still possible, still waiting. And that is exactly what we're going to move toward now. Everything you've heard tonight, the ancient system that fires without asking permission, the hormones that linger into the evening, the sleep that gets pressed into shallower waters by the weight of unresolved days, all of it has a counterpart. A way through. A way back. In the meditation that follows, we're going to work gently with the body's own capacity to settle. to guide the nervous system softly toward the state it has been trying to reach all evening. You don't need to do anything complicated. You don't need to be good at this, or practiced, or particularly calm to begin with. You only need to be here, which you already are. You are already here. You have already done the hardest part, which was simply arriving, simply lying down, simply letting this be the moment where you allow yourself to stop. And maybe your mind is still moving a little. Maybe there are still threads of the day woven through your thoughts. That is perfectly fine. You do not need to push anything away. You do not need to clear your mind or feel a certain way. You only need to be here just as you are, in this body, in this bed, in this quiet. Whatever weight you have been carrying today, you can begin to set it down now. Not forever. Not with any grand effort. Just for tonight. Just for these next few minutes, you can let the world hold itself without you. You have been holding so much. And you have done well. But right now, there is nothing you need to solve. There is nothing you need to figure out. The only thing being asked of you in this moment is to rest. So let your body sink a little deeper into whatever is beneath you. Feel the surface supporting you completely. You do not have to hold yourself up. You never have to hold yourself up when you are lying down, and yet so many of us do. We carry the tension of the day right into sleep, bracing against something that is no longer there. So just notice, gently, if you are holding anywhere, and simply allow a little more weight to release. Not forcing, just allowing. The day is done. Whatever happened, whatever was difficult, whatever felt unfinished or unresolved, it is resting now too. It will still be there if you need it tomorrow. But tonight you are allowed to put it down. You are allowed to simply be a body, breathing, soft and at rest. Let your eyes stay gently closed. If they are already closed, good. Let the muscles around your eyes be soft. There is nothing to see right now. There is nothing to watch for. You are safe here, and you can let your eyes rest completely. Take a slow, easy breath in through your nose, and let it go. That is all. That simple rhythm. In and out. The body already knows how to do this. It has been doing it your entire life, even when you were not paying attention. Even in the middle of everything difficult, your breath kept going, steady and quiet underneath all of it. So now you can turn your attention toward that steadiness, toward the breath that has been with you through every hard day, every restless night, every moment of worry. It has never left you. It's in softly. Just and breathe out slowly. You do not need to change your breath. You do not need to make it deeper or slower or more perfect. Just let it be what it is, and watch it with the gentle attention of someone watching a candle flame, not gripping, not controlling, just noticing. Notice the way the air comes in cool and soft through your nose. Notice how your chest or your belly rises just slightly with each inhale. And then notice the release. The beautiful, effortless release of the exhale. The body letting go, all on its own. Breathe in. And breathe out. There is something very old and very wise about the exhale. It is the body's own way of releasing. Every single breath you take ends in a letting go. Thousands of times a day, without you even asking, your body practices releasing. It already knows how to do this. It has always known. So let your next exhale be just a little longer. Not forced. Just let it trail out a little further than usual, like a long, slow sigh. The kind of sigh that says, I am safe now. I can let this go. Breathe in gently and breathe out slowly, letting it last. And again. In and out. With each breath, you can feel yourself settling just a little more. The surface beneath you feels a little more solid. Your body feels a little heavier, not in a burdened way, in a grounded way, in the way of something that has finally been allowed to rest. Keep breathing at your own pace, slow and easy. And as you breathe, I am going to guide your attention gently through your body, from the top of your head all the way down to your feet. We are going to soften every place where stress has been living, every place where you have been holding on. Because stress lives in the body. You probably already know this. You have felt it. The tight jaw, the raised shoulders, the chest that forgets to fully expand. Tonight, we're going to visit each of those places with kindness. Not judgment, not frustration, just warmth, just a simple invitation to let go. Begin with the very top of your head. Bring your attention there, to the crown of your skull. You may not have thought about this part of your body in a long time. Just notice it now. And imagine a gentle warmth spreading there, like a warm hand placed softly on the top of your head. Soothing. Still. Let the scalp soften. Let the skin across the top of your head relax and spread and release. There is no tension you need to hold there. Let it go. That warmth moves gently down to your forehead now. The forehead is a place where so much worry lives, where we furrow and crease and hold. Notice if there is any tightness there. And without any effort at all, just let it smooth. Let the skin of your forehead become soft and wide and still. Like the surface of a calm lake. Let your eyebrows drift apart just slightly. Let the space between them open. Let all the small muscles around your eyes release completely. Your eyelids are heavy and soft. There is no need to hold them closed. They simply rest, gently, beautifully closed. Let your cheeks soften now. All those small muscles that carry expression through the day. Let them release. Let your face become soft and still, like the face of someone in the deepest, most peaceful sleep. And your jaw. The jaw holds so much unsaid, so much clenched, so much braced against difficulty. Let your teeth part just slightly, not wide open, just a gentle separation. Let your jaw hang loose. Let the joints soften. If you have been grinding or holding, you can release that now. There is nothing left to brace against. You are safe. You are held. You can let your jaw go completely. Let your lips be soft and slightly parted. Let your tongue rest gently at the bottom of your mouth. Your whole face is soft now, still and quiet, like a face in a painting. Beautiful. At rest. Let that softness move down into your neck now. The neck carries the weight of the head all day long. It works so hard. And when we are stressed, the neck becomes a place of real holding. Tight muscles running up the sides, tension at the base of the skull, stiffness that makes it hard to turn and look around. Just let your neck release now. You do not need to move it. Just let the muscles soften. Let the back of the neck lengthen and relax against whatever is beneath it. Let the sides of the neck release. Let all that held tension begin to melt, like warmth moving through something that has been cold and tight for a long time. Your neck can rest completely. Your head is fully supported. You do not need to hold it up. Let it be heavy. Let it sink. And now your shoulders. If there is one place in the body where stress makes its home, it is here. The shoulders rise and tighten and creep up toward the ears without us even noticing. We carry invisible weight on our shoulders all day long. The weight of responsibility. The weight of worry. The weight of everything we are trying to manage and hold together. So let your shoulders drop now. Let them fall away from your ears. Let them sink down and out and back, spreading wide, releasing. If they drop even a little, that is enough. If they drop a lot, that is wonderful. Either way, just let them go as far as they want to go. Feel the space that opens across the top of your chest when your shoulders release. Feel the way your whole upper body can breathe more freely now. Let that release move down your upper arms. The big muscles of the upper arms softening, releasing, going heavy, down through your elbows. You do not need to hold your elbows in any particular position. Just let them rest wherever they are, soft and loose, down through your forearms. All the tension that comes from gripping and typing and holding and doing, letting go now. Into your wrists, soft, into your hands. Your hands have worked so hard today. They have done so much. Let them open now, just a little. Let the fingers uncurl. Let the palms face upward, if that feels natural. Or simply let the hands rest in whatever position they have found, open and soft and still. Let the spaces between the fingers be easy. Your hands can rest. They have earned it. There is nothing left to hold. Take a breath here, a slow, full breath. Feel how much softer you already are. Feel how the upper body has already begun to release the weight it was carrying. And now let that softness, that gentle releasing warmth move into your chest. The chest is where we feel stress most acutely. It tightens. It constricts. Breathing becomes shallow when we are anxious or overwhelmed. The heart beats faster. The whole chest seems to close in around itself. But right now, with this breath, let your chest open, not by forcing, just by letting the breath be full. Let the ribcage expand gently with the inhale. Let the chest rise and open and fill with air. And then let it soften on the exhale. Let it release. Let it settle. Breathe in and feel your chest open. Breathe out and feel it soften. There is so much held in the chest. Grief sometimes. Longing. The ache of trying so hard for so long. Whatever is there, you do not need to examine it tonight. You only need to breathe through it. To let the breath move through the chest like a gentle wave, loosening, softening, releasing. You are allowed to feel better. You are allowed to let the tightness go. Let your heart slow. Let your heartbeat become steady and calm and quiet. You can feel it there if you listen, that faithful rhythm. It has been beating for you your entire life. Tonight, it is slowing. Tonight, it is at peace. Let the softness move down into your belly now. The belly is another place where stress lives. We hold it in. We tighten it against discomfort. We brace the abdominal muscles as if we are preparing for impact. But right now, there is no impact coming. There is only rest. Let your belly go completely soft. Let it rise and fall with each breath, loose and easy. Let it be round and soft and completely relaxed. There is no need to hold it in. There is no one watching. There is only you and the quiet and the breath moving gently in and out. Breathe into your belly now. Let the air go all the way down so that the belly rises on the inhale. And then let it fall completely on the exhale. Soft and easy. Over and over. This kind of breathing, low and slow and belly deep, is the body's own signal that it is safe, that the threat has passed, that it can begin to move out of alertness and into rest. So keep breathing this way. Slow, deep, into the belly, and let the whole middle of your body soften and release. Let that release move into your hips now. The hips hold so much tension, old patterns, the cumulative tightness of days spent sitting, rushing, bracing. Let the hip joints release. Let the muscles around the hips soften. Let your legs fall naturally outward, just slightly as the hips let go. You do not need to be in any particular position. Just let your body find its most natural, easy resting place, and let the hips be heavy, grounded, sinking into the surface beneath you, down into your thighs now, the long muscles of the thighs releasing, going soft and heavy and warm. There is nothing for them to do right now. They can simply rest. Down through your knees. Soft, easy. The joints releasing. Into your calves. All that work of carrying you through the day, softening now. The muscles going loose and warm. Down through your ankles. Releasing. Into your feet. Your feet have carried you through this entire day, through all of it. Every step of the difficult day, every moment of standing and rushing and moving, your feet were there. Let them rest now. Let the arches release. Let the heels sink heavily into the surface beneath you. Let your toes spread and soften and go completely still. From the crown of your head to the soles of your feet, your entire body is soft now. Heavy. Warm. Sinking gently into rest. Take one long, slow breath and let it all go. You have done something very kind for yourself tonight. You have given your body permission to release the weight of everything it has been holding, and the body is so grateful for that. It has been waiting for this. It knows how to do this. You only needed to invite it. And now, as your body rests completely, let your mind begin to soften too. You may still have thoughts about tomorrow, about what was difficult today, about all the things that have been sitting heavily on you. That is all right. You do not need to fight them. You do not need to push them away. Just imagine those thoughts as clouds, slow, drifting clouds moving across a wide, open sky. They are there. You can see them. But you are not the clouds. You are the sky. And the sky is vast and still and completely untroubled by whatever passes through it. Let each thought drift across and out of view. You do not need to follow any of them. You do not need to hold on to any of them. Just let them drift. And now I want to take you somewhere. a place that exists only in the quiet of your imagination, a place made entirely of peace and softness and rest. Imagine that you are standing at the edge of a forest just as evening is settling in. The air is warm and still. The light is golden and low, filtering through the trees in long, gentle beams. There is the faintest sound of birdsong somewhere far away, the last few notes of the day, soft and sweet and unhurried. The ground beneath your feet is soft. A deep, mossy path winds gently between the trees, and you begin to walk along it, not quickly. There is no hurry here. Each step is easy and soft. The moss cushions every footfall. Your body feels light. The weight you were carrying has been left somewhere far behind. As you walk, the trees grow taller and closer together, and the golden light becomes softer, more diffuse. The air is cool and clean and carries the faint scent of pine and earth and something sweet you cannot quite name. You breathe it in deeply, and you feel yourself relaxing even more with every step, as if this place knows you, as if it has been waiting for you. The path curves gently to the left, and as you follow it, you find yourself stepping into a small, open clearing, and in the center of the clearing, there is a pool of still water. It is perfectly round, perfectly calm. The surface is like dark glass, reflecting the last pale light of the sky above. Around the edge of the pool, soft grass grows in thick cushions, and you find yourself drawn to one particular spot, right at the water's edge, where the grass is especially thick and soft. You sit down, and then you lie down gently into that softness. The ground beneath you is warm from the day's sun. The grass is like a bed, soft and deep and perfectly shaped to hold you. You sink into it, and the warmth of the earth rises up through your back, through your legs, through the whole length of your body. You look up. Above you, through the opening in the trees, you can see the sky beginning to deepen into twilight. The first few stars are appearing, faint and far away. The air is perfectly still. There is no sound here except the occasional whisper of a breeze through the high branches, and the distant, quiet sound of the water moving almost imperceptibly at the edge of the pool. A sound so soft it is almost not a sound at all, just a sense of movement, of something flowing and releasing. You let your eyes close, and you feel it, the ground holding you completely. You do not have to be strong right now. The earth itself is doing the holding. The warm, ancient, steady earth beneath you, supporting every part of you. And all that stress, all that weight, all that tightness that you have been carrying, you can feel it leaving now. Slowly, gently, it is moving out of you and into the earth. The earth can take it. The earth has been taking the weight of things since the very beginning. It is not troubled by what you release into it. It simply absorbs it, transforms it, lets it become something else. So let it go. All of it. Every worry, every tight and anxious place, everything that has been sitting on your chest, making it hard to breathe, let it move down through you and into the ground beneath you. And as it leaves, you feel lighter, you feel softer, you feel more and more like the person you are when no one is asking anything of you, when there is nothing to prove and nothing to fix. Just you, in your quiet, your rest, your natural ease. Breathe in the cool, clean air of this place, and breathe it back out slowly. The water beside you is so still. You can hear the faintest sound now, like the tiniest of ripples, barely disturbing the surface. And there is something about that sound, something that moves through you the same way. A gentle rhythmic ripple of release, moving through your body in slow, soft waves. You are warm, you are held, you are completely, utterly safe. The stars above are growing brighter now as the sky deepens. One by one they appear. Soft points of light in the gathering dark. You do not need to count them. You do not need to do anything. Just let your eyes be closed and let the image of them be there, behind your eyelids, the whole universe holding still. Your breath is very slow now, very soft. You can barely feel it, just the gentlest rise and fall, the body breathing all on its own. You have let it go. You have let it simply do what it knows how to do. And your thoughts are very quiet now. If there are any left, they are very far away, like voices at the edge of a dream, soft and indistinct, and not requiring anything from you. You are beginning to drift, not falling, drifting. The way a leaf drifts down from a tree on a perfectly still day. Slowly, gently, without any rush, without any resistance. The warmth of the earth beneath you is so deep, so steady. And your body is sinking into it, deeper and deeper. Not into the earth itself, but into rest. Into the deepest, softest rest. Each breath carries you a little further down. The clearing is quiet around you. The pool is still. The stars are soft overhead. And you are here, in the middle of all that stillness, becoming still yourself. All that stress, all that effort, all that striving. It is so far away now. It belongs to another version of you. The one who was awake and trying and carrying things. That version is resting now too. You have given her permission. You have given him permission. You have given yourself permission. You stop. To rest. To simply be. The warmth is moving through you like something golden. Like the last light of that day moving slowly through the trees. Soft and amber and full of peace. It moves through your chest, through your belly, down through your legs, into the soles of your feet. And everywhere it touches, there is only ease. You are so comfortable now, so heavy and warm and still. Your breath is barely a breath, just the softest movement. The trees are very still. The water is barely there. Just a presence, a softness, a sense of something quietly flowing. And you are flowing with it. Not going anywhere. Just releasing. Or just letting go. Everything is very soft now. Very slow. Very quiet. You are drifting. Warm. Let us safe. Each thought that comes is very far away. And then it is gone. And there is just the warmth. Just the quiet. Just the breath. You are almost there. That place at the very edge of sleep, where the world becomes gentle and formless and all the hard edges disappear. You are there now. Guyat, at the edge. Just let yourself go. The ground is holding you. The dark is soft. The stars are very far away and very beautiful. And you are shifting up, down, into warmth of sleep.